Thank you for joining this session today. Our topic today is this one: unlocking browser superpower is in ZK to use our new experimental add-on which is called Browser Kit. Okay, let's start for our presentation. Wait a moment. Okay, let's move it here. Okay. So, okay. I hope everyone can hear me. Okay, so what is the web browser kit? Browser kit is actually a ZK add-on that wraps the native browser JavaScript API into Java. Yeah, so think of it, it's like a translator. It lets you call the browser features like currently it's geolocation and clipboard from your server side Java code without writing JavaScript. So we roll JavaScript for you, so you don't have to roll it. And why we wrap it is because one is two main reasons. One is it's type safety. You know JavaScript is not type safe, so you can get POJO the JavaScript a Java object instead of a JSON string, so you don't need to process that. So second one is the consistency. So you can use the send event driven patterns than you already use in ZK. So no more switching between Java and JavaScript. So that's be honest that I think not everyone enjoy writing JavaScript. Okay. So so the architecture is very easy. You just use the you know very well it's event driven. So when you call in this add-on, we will provide some helper class. So when you call this helper class method, you will trigger a browser API through the JavaScript. So it will help you to call the JavaScript API, and then the result will come back asynchronously as a desktop event. Then just like you can imagine it's just like sending a package through a FedEx, then you drop it off and you call the API and then just wait. Wait for the deliver notification, just like a desktop event. So everything goes through the ZK's AU service for desktop level communications. So that's important caveat is this API, like geolocation or Clipboard, it requires HTTPS in productions. So both these two API restrict to security context. So today I will show you with localhost. So it's fine. You don't have to use HTTPS for localhost. But yeah, in the futures, if you use in production, then user must grant the permission. You cannot just secretly track their location. So yeah. Okay, next. So the quick setup, you just add browser kit in your POM. So you can see it's it's here. Maven setup here. You can see just installed it. Currently just version 2. Yeah, because it's startup. So include this and remember you have to it's in CE repository. So you need to specify this CE repository, and that's all. And it doesn't enforce you to use any ZK version, but basically I would suggest using 9 or after. So wow, why GitHub is crashed? Oh, that's weird. Wow, so GitHub crashed. Okay, then we don't show it. We show it in local. Show in my local development environment. So in this project, actually in my local, you can see it depends on ZK9, but it's included by optional true. So when you include this add-on, it doesn't override your ZK version. You can use any ZK version you want. Actually, almost, I think we depend on 9, but actually I think ZK8 still works. ZK10 also works surely. So you just include it and don't need to be worried. Okay, so you can download this project and just run it to see the demo. So if you download this project, because this project contains the browser kit source code and also has a demo example in it. So if you run it, the Maven with Jetty, and you can visit this URL, so you can see the SRC test directory. They contains all the usage example. So you can just clone that to see the source code and also the usage. The first I will demonstrate is Clipboard API, which is to read the text from your clipboard. Okay, this is the basic. So it will send back a clipboard event. So you will call this a helper to read the clipboard and deliver by this event. So it requires a user action. So like a button click. Okay. And we have other demos like write text, just call this write text, and also handle the event with this. So this just show you a real example like this. This is the demo project. The demo project actually also inside the browser kit. So first one, just read the text from the clipboard. So for example, I can copy something. For example, I just copy this text, copy this, and I press Command C in my keyboard. So now this text is inside my clipboard. So I can read the text here and set it to the server side. So the server side will set the value inside this. For example, there's a text box, and the text box is not allowed to edit. Just assume this case. Yeah, so you can read the clipboard from users' machines and then send it to the server. So you can see here, if you check the developer tool inside here, you can see if I just I copy another text, for example, here. Okay, you can see because I implemented. Okay, unclick. So it will show the response. Say, he want to read the text. So it will read the text. I mean, the server side. When you click the button, the server side invoke the script in the JavaScript side and try to read the text. Read the text in your clipboard. Then it's sent back with the clipboard action event, and the action is read. The text is, you can see the text, it comes from the clipboard, which is this text, and go back to the server. And when server got this, he will try to set the value of the text box. So the code is quite simple. We can check this code is this one. We can check the composer code here. So you can see the usage is quite simple. You just call first, do after compose, you just call this initialize API to initialize this. Let's make it larger. Okay. Call init in do after compose to register event listener and also register event listener in the desktop level and also load the JavaScript at the client side. Then you need to add your event handler. For example, like this, you can add it in Java or add it like this. It's okay. And yeah, this is the button when you click the read button. So when you click the read button, you just call clipboard helper read text. Then you will send your JavaScript. They will call JavaScript for you. And the JavaScript will read from the browser's clipboard and then send an event. Is this event. You can see this on clipboard action event. So it's inside. You don't need to remember because I create constant in this here. So you just add event listener to perform what you want. For example, because it might fail, so you need to check if it's a C. Yeah, if it's a C, then you can check if it's a text result, because in the next you can see we will also read the image result. So if it's text result and then its action is read, so I will set the value. to set the clipboard text to passing target. And what is the passing target? It's here. It's a text box. Okay, the text box here. Make it larger. Okay, this is passing target. Okay, so this is the simple case. The most simplest case is just read from clipboard. So you can just call it and wait for the event. Okay, so this is read case. And writing case means you write something into server's browser's clipboard. So just call this write, and then you can just press the Control V or Command V because it's already right in your clipboard. So you can press Command V to pass it. Okay. So let's try it again. This demo is like this. For example, I click this, then okay, you write something into my clipboard. Okay, so I can press Control V. Okay, it's a content from the server. That means when I press the press this button, it actually writes something from server to my clipboard. So I can press Control V to pass it. Okay, so you can see it's also very easy. When you click the button, you see there's a listener. The listener just call write text content from server, and that's all. Because it doesn't go back to the server, so you just need to write it to the server client side, and you can press the Control V to pass it. Okay, so this is the just basic option. So you can see read and write the usage is very simple. Just listen, event, and then, but a little bit special case is about the Safari. The Safari has a stricter security policy. So although we already use a button to trigger this, but it still doesn't work in Safari. So in Safari, you have to use like this. You have to call JavaScript directly to read the text. So you can see the CA is XML namespace, which is client attribute, means you are invoking JavaScript. It's a button elements client. A client attribute is not a ZK on-click event listener. It's a JavaScript event listener registered at the client side. You have to register like this. And then when using Safari, when you click here, you will invoke a JavaScript. This is the JavaScript call. But I use the same name. So you will see it looks like a Java, but you can see the JavaScript class has the same name as the Java class. So you can see you just call it read text. That this line works in Safari, yeah, and the original implementation works in other browser. Okay, so this is the special case. Okay, the next one is about the the next one is about the read image. A read image, I think, is useful when you want to copy image in read the image in a clipboard. So if you can use this way to upload. Okay, so let's check. For example, let's check. So the image comes back with the 60 base 64 encoded, so you can directly set it to ZK image components. No need to handle file, so it's very useful. And so in the server side, you will get a clipboard result. It will give you the MIMV type, usually just a PNG or screenshot. And we calculate dimension, size, and it will be passed to the server. So after that, you can check at the server side. So currently, there's no maximum size limitation at the client side. So in the future, we will try to implement these features. But so currently, you can just reject at the server side. It always have to send it back and can check at the server side. But in the future, I think we will implement in some maximum size limitation at the client side. So the common use case is you can use a for example, some bug report user can pass the screenshot directly, or something you have to copy. So for example, like this, show you this, the image copy case is this one, clipboard image. Okay, this one. So we can just Google, for example, use any docs. For example, like this. This is a copy image. Then it will inside my clipboard. So we can read image here. So you can see that we read image and transfer to it to the server, and then show it here. Then the server will know its type, its dimension, and the size. Yeah, and it's PNG. So usually it's show the PNG. Okay. So you can see it's very useful if you want to transfer something. Okay. Okay. Later I will answer the questions. Okay. If there's a, oh, let's check the code. Composer image, composer here. So, okay, in this case, its usage is the same. Okay, you need to init it. And read image button, yeah, when you click, you can see, you can show its index. And the key method is this, is read image. So when you read image, that you need to, this is the second way you need to, you can listen to the event. So you can see, you listen to this clipboard action event. From the first one, first example, we use Java API to add even listener, but this time we use notation to listen this event. So this event will pass a clipboard event here. So in this event, you can see this event get resolved, get action. We want to make sure that it's read image. If action is read image, then I will handle, because it might be if someone listen other actions, then other listener will handle. So I will not handle all case. This listener only handle read image case. So if it's read image, then I will get clipboard image. Then you will get clipboard image. Then if it's a seed and has image data, then I will display it. So in display here, you can see I can just get the image data here and created an ZK, an image, and assign this image to the clipboard image, which is the image component. So it's quite intuitive, just like this. To just display the image from the clipboard. And if you want to check some data, you can also get it from result. For example, get ME type, get width, get height, get file size, supported format, something like this. So you can get some metadata of this image. And then I set image container visible to true. Okay, so this is the case. Okay. So this is other just some utility code. Yeah, so this is the case, then you can load the image, read image of the clipboard. And the same is also the Safari has a stricter policy, so you cannot just directly read it. You also have to call it from the client side. Yeah. And from the browser, I saw someone ask the browser. I remember there's a client. ZK provides the browser utilities, but I need to check. Okay, later I will answer the question after I go through the whole training. Okay, so this is the second case that you can upload the image, read a clipboard image. Another usage is about, this is about use case. For example, could be some kind of case like a form autofill. We use the copy paste case like this. For example, I copy this uh, in somewhere else. Assume this is somewhere else, my email address, and I just pass it from clipboard. For example, I pass it. So in the server side will read my clipboard and to check, okay, this is the email, so it will automatically fill this data into the email field, and I copy my form and I click the button, it will pass into the form or something additional, it will just pass me. Okay, so that is just a use case. I assume that maybe like kind of autofill form case. So I think it's easy to understand. You just need to write some logic by yourself. So we can quickly know here. For example, in the form auto view composer, just declare a composer and sorry. So the usage is similar, just init and the event listener. So the key point is here, handle clipboard event, and we can check if it's success or not, and if it's a read. If it's not read operation, just skip it. Then we can get the text. So that the rest is just like application logic, because I will read the text, and depending on the text format, I will check if it should be filled to which field, maybe email, maybe form, maybe note. So I think this part is the application part. You can implement by yourself or depend on case. So this is one of the use case that you can use the copy paste. Another case is, I think, is also useful is maybe you have some users when you create some systems and you wanted to provide some details, but usually maybe user don't know how to provide some details for you because there are many details and there are many system info. You will just don't know which one to provide. So it's very useful if you can generate some server-side technical information for him, then he just pass it. For example, he doesn't know the Java version, he doesn't even know some session details. Then if you want to help him, you need to know this detail, but he cannot provide, or it's very trouble for him to provide. So you can, when there's something in trouble, you can provide this kind of button. When you click, then it will generate some server-side status about this page and directly write into his clipboard with write text. Then, okay, then he just one click to gather all this information, and he just pass it to maybe to email to some help desk system, and that's all. So another use case is something like this, transfer debug information. So maybe there is something wrong, and I want to gather some system information, but I don't know. I'm just an end user. So I can click here and just copy. And I just, maybe this is the email I have to send. I just press Control V and okay, you will generate this information for me. This is generated from the server side. Okay, there's a session, there's a time, there's a detail, browser information, anything that you can get it from the server side, you can directly generate to and write it to its clipboard. So the end user just need to pass it, and that's all. They don't have to look for these information and back and forth. Maybe there are something missing. You have to ask him, oh, please give me this, please give me that, something like this. So this is another use case. I think it's also useful and directly write something to use a clipboard, and he just provide to you. Okay, so yeah, this important is what, yeah, first is you need to require user gesture. Yeah, you need to click something, trigger something, events, and you can read. So you cannot read without user action. For example, the page loaded, So also remember you have to sanitize by yourself. If you can treat it as also kind of user input. So I don't know what kind of things the user clipboard will have. If you directly write it down to someone else, then maybe cause problem. So you have to sanitize by yourself or validate before you use. Okay, so you sometimes have to test it because there are different browsers. Might have different policy. But currently, yeah, I tested several major browser. They all support it, and said Safari has some difference. Okay. Okay. The next API is about geolocation. So it's even simpler because it just have one API. Uh, the first is just two API, but the first API is the same as the clipboard, just init and then get current position. So yeah, it's very, I think all the helper class have the similar usage. Init first, then call operation. So it result will be a geolocation position object. So you can get it contains a timestamp and a coordination, and the coordination contains latitude, longitude, and accuracy, which is also provide. These are all provided by browser. It's not I generated. It's provided by browser, and some device also provide some altitude or heading or speed. So it's more data. I just wrap the JavaScript object into Java. Okay. So like accuracy, yeah, it might be larger if it's the inside the different signal. For example, in Wi-Fi based location, maybe give you accuracy 50 to 100 meters. And if he use GPS, can be 5 to 10 meters. If it's under the basement GPS, and the accuracy could be 500 meters. I don't know, but yeah, it could be varied. So you can check the accuracy. Okay, so it's the same. Yeah, when you call the clipboard or any helper class, then it's asynchronously sent the event by browser. So you have to listen to a specific event, geolocation event, and check event. If it's success, then you get the precision because it might have some problems uh, to get the location. Yeah, because there's usually could be some permission denied, position unavailable, something. There are many kinds of errors, so you have to handle. Uh, okay, so for example, let's check the example here. Geolocation, yeah, I think it's okay. Use this. This is the basic example. Yeah, you can get the location. You can see I just print all the information here. But in the browser, there's a way to, in Chrome, there's a way to simulate the not here, in console, the location. Okay, so where is the, here, more tool. Sensor here. You can see the location I can sensor. For example, I can even make it location available so I can get it. When I get location, the device might give me some error, say location unavailable. So this could be happen. So you need to check if it's success or not. Okay, so let's check this very basic example here, location composer. You can see the usage is the same. You first need to init and then get current position. And then you need to listen to an event called geolocation event, which is as a constant. So you have to check which is success or not. If it's not success, which is fails, you need to handle the error. So I will print the error, say, okay, get message, what is the error? Because, for example, location available, something like this. Then if it's success, then I will get geolocation here. Sorry. If it's success, I will get geolocation positions. Okay. And in this position, you can see he has it has some properties as timestamp, coordination, something. These are just a wrapper of the JavaScript object. So you can check MDN to know what information you can get. I just go print it all by toString. So that's just a simple application to show the simple usage. Okay, let's check next one. So you need to handle the error. There I just create a simulate real not real, just simulate example, like maybe someone will want uh, to locate a store by its location. Okay, so you will find the store and you will get the location and you will calculate the distance to give you the closest store uh, based on your position. This is just a very common uh, common usage. So for example, I can make my location to, okay, San Francisco, because my sample data is there. So I can get my nearby store like calling. So there's a list of store, yeah, which is just I prefilled it. So it will calculate the distance and tell me and sort by the distance. So you can see, okay, the closest one is this one, a Bay Coffee roaster. Okay, so this is the the closest one. I can also change maybe change Shanghai and fly again. You can see the distance, yeah, it's different. And the closest one is different. Okay, so this is one of the usage. And sometimes if you really don't want this helper, and you can even call uh, dispose, and now you cannot get positions. Yeah, this could be maybe sometimes you really don't want it. You can disable it by unloading its JavaScript. So you can show it the location and you can display the accuracy. I think, do I display the accuracy? Yeah, here, 150 meters, here's location here. So you can show to users and you can show the closest store. This is one of the use case. Okay, let's check the architecture. Just give you some simple idea of the architecture. Okay, here. The architecture is quite simple. You can even follow this to wrap the API you want. For example, yeah, this is the initialized flow. For example, when you call init, you will create init and to register a listener at the AU service with an AU service. It's just a singleton instance because every request can go through this status. So you just, when some API called, you will just pass event to this. Okay, so when you init, actually you register event listener, desktop level event listener here, and also load JavaScript. You push the JavaScript to the client side, so the browser will load the JavaScript helper, and he will also do some check, yeah, and to avoid you load twice. Yeah, so we load JavaScript here. Okay, so that's the init process. And the calling process also very simple. When you call, for example, call the get current location or write text copy, read text, some kind of static methods, and you will just transfer to the client side, and the browser will call API for you, and you will return something to the JavaScript. It will JavaScript helper, call JavaScript helper. The helper will pause the event back to the server, which is the singleton. That there is a AU service. The AU service will pause the event to the framework, and then if there is a Java controller, it could be in your composer or in your view models, then it will invoke your controller to you can do some further processing. Okay. So this is just a simple architecture. And this architecture is quite simple. This project is even AI friendly. So it has many documents very clear. You can see if you have use any AI tool, you can let AI tool to read this document and tell him to wrap another JavaScript API and follow the same pattern, then you can make your own. That's that's quite possible, I think, because the architecture is quite clear. So if we haven't support, you can even tell AI to do for you. So you can see the document is quite complete, and there's even a cloud empty file. So if you use cloud code, it will automatically read this file and get an overview of this project. So you can even build a project for you. Sorry, wrap a new API for you. Okay, so the architecture is quite simple. It uses stateless API, so you can see the API doesn't have any state, and there is a single AU service will receive the event from the server side, from the client side. So it's very efficient, just one singleton. And it's a desktop level event means when client side fires the event, it will broadcast this event to all the root components. So if you have, what is the root component means? Okay, this is a root component. For example, this one, okay. So you can see actually the first level, this is root component, this is root component, root component, root component. So if someone, when this client-side helper send this event to the server side, the area service will broadcast the event to all the root component here. So every root component can have its own event listener to receive this kind of event. You can decide whether to handle it, or you can just handle it in one root component. That's the case existing architecture. Just like if you listen to client info event, you also have the same architectures. So this is the desktop level event. It's a little bit different from the component level event. So component level event usually it just received or handled by a specific component event listener. So it's very simple. You have to init first, and if you really don't want it, you can call dispose it. So it was used. It can be used by MVC pattern or MVVM pattern. I think I forgot to demonstrate MVVM pattern. I think it's this one. No. Oh, this one. Okay. I think I make one MVVM pattern example. Let me check the source. Oh, debug info view model. Okay, so there's an example. Just copy the debug info use case. This one I purposely write it in MVVM pattern. So you can see this API can be used in MVC pattern or MVVM pattern. So you can see this is an MVVM pattern, and the usage is the same. You init first, and then you try to register event listener. But in MVVM pattern, the way you register event listener is different. You need to specify a command here. Okay, so on clipboard actions, here you have to, like I say, the event was broadcast to root component, every root component. So here you have to specify the event name here and the command name here in the root component. So when you want to generate copy debug information, you specify command on the button click event, and on clipboard action, you need to specify on this one of the root component, which is this one, node on. So when I click this copy information and the client side copied, and it generates something into client side, then it will this will be handled, will be in bulk here on clipboard action. So let's check on clipboard. Oh, sorry, not on clipboard action. It's handle clipboard action. So it will be invoke, and invoke will just, if it's success, then we'll try to copy uh, something. Oh, sorry, this one is writing that it's done. But this event just it fire to the server side, say, okay, I already write it. So the server side can know, okay, the client side already done a write operation. Then you can know, oh, it's success or it's fail. Then you can show some status. So, but when you call write text, you already write to the client side clipboard. Yeah. And then you will respond to the result. Could be success or fail. So, okay. So you can see in this API, this helper can be used in MVC pattern or VVM patterns. So either you listen in with at listen annotation or use data binding. Okay. So so it's in desktop level. So you can see the different root component can be react to the same event. Okay. So this is the case of the different of the desktop level. So you can call init. You have to call init, but for view model, you can call it in a constructor. That's okay because the view model is inside the lifecycle of the ZK. So it already create the component. So let's take a review. Then you have to use in production. You have to use HTTPS, and browser. You also have to have some permissions. And you might assume maybe geolocation maybe fail. So you have to provide some alternative. Maybe you can manually enter the address. And the security consideration is you have to sanitize all the clipboard input because you don't know what user will copy. You might have something wrong, something dangerous. Uh, and also that, yeah, you can see the user might fake their location. Yeah, just like I use develop tool. I'm not in San Francisco. Okay, in the future that we will um, try to wrap more API, JavaScript API as I write here. Currently we only have two, geolocation and Clipboard. I try to try to do this. In the future, this is just a predefined list, but maybe you can have a better idea because there are too much API to wrap. Maybe someone has a better idea to know because I just decide this by just searching the web and checking our old tickets to see maybe it seems this might be mentioned by some customers. So it has some complete documentation. You can also check here. This is the zcos demo browser kit. You can check this repository to know more details. Okay, so that's I would launch a survey and also answer your questions. So if please, everyone, if you have some time, please fill some uh, this quiz, this poll for us. We can know your feedback to improve this project better. So everyone, if you have time, please fill this poll. And if you have question, I know someone asked some question there. I will try to find you some API. Wait a minute. Let me check the chat list on the Discord Safari. Yeah, there's client. Let me check. I remember there's a client bro browser. I don't know. there's a okay browser. So that's yeah. You could check by this. You will check the user agent, not very precise, but mostly you will check a request users. Although user can fake it, he can, for example, he can send a request with some made up user agent. But you can, if it's not made up, it's a real re sent by browser. You can use these two API is browsers servlets dot is browser. You will check the user agent for you or check the server request for you to see if it's a browser, some specific browser. And servlet request, how to get a servlet request? You can use execution here, or there's also yeah a browser. You can use execution get current. You can get the execution, and execution inside you will has a get native request. In the get native request, you can convert to HTTP request. I think maybe I just show you the document will be easier. GP, Java scope object here. So if you want to get HTTP request, you can use get current and get native request and use a false type request to convert it to HTTP request. Yeah. So in every ZK lifecycle method, you can call this and you will get execution. For example, in the event listener, in do you have to compose everything that that in ZK lifecycle, when you call execution get current, you will get an execution. And execution is just a wrapper of a servlet request and response. So when you call get native request, actually you will return an HTTP server request. And why it's a you need to cast because it actually return an object because we use this method. It sometimes returns portlet servlet request. So we make a common method for these two objects. So we have to return object. So either could be HTTP servlet request or could be portlet servlet request. And so if you are sure you are in a servlet, then you can enforce to cast the type to HTTP servlet request. Then you will get a request for you. Okay, so this is the first question, and then let's check other question. Where's my window? Yeah, I think we were going to have 1 hour. Yeah, another, yeah, someone can call get header could be one way, but yeah, the East browser is also have that. So I do not want to have two buttons would be Safari style work for other browsers as well. So a single line implementation. So you have to use some kind of if status. For example, if you know it's Safari, you can use it as a flag, and in this flag, you will decide to show the button for Safari or the button for yeah, to show one of this button. You don't have to put it to line, so you have to do something like if you have a shadow, either use a visible to control which one is visible or not. Or if you have shadow components, you can use MVVN to load or emit a VN, for example, visible. And this visible could be decided by Safari or not. If it's not Safari, maybe like this. If it's Safari, then it will show this. If it's not Safari, then it will show another, something like this. This is another way you can do it. Or one way is use the visible on the button. It's also a way. And if you don't use data binding, you can use if test and use EO expression. This expression flag could be like is Safari something, and you have to oh, or you can not use Safari. Okay, so and this is MVC pattern. This is MVVM patterns. Yeah, and these variables you have to or you can set attribute in a in your composer or in any scope. You can set attribute with is Safari and true, something like this, because you need to store an object. So you can, this key must be equal to this. So if you set an attribute, no matter you set, I will suggest set in desktop. So in this page, you will resolve this variable in the desktop scope, and you will find, okay, is Safari is true or not? Then to decide whether to create this button or not. Yeah. So this is the conditional evaluation, or there's another way called if. Something like this. Okay. So there are actually many ways to do it. Okay. That's the plan to support iframe communications. Oh, iframe communication. What I know is there's a message. I'm not sure. Do you have any specific API to know for iframe communication? What I know is there's a called message iframe messages sent out or something. What I remember is pause message. Okay, that's what I know to communicate between the iframe and the iframe window and original window. So I'm not sure. Do you mean this pause message? How will the Safari version work in MVVM? So in MVVM, um, there's no way to work. Currently, there's no better way. What I know is you have to invoke the client side. So I think you still can. I think it still works, but the button you click have to call the client side. But the event to the server, you still can use a VPN. So for example, CA, let's check. I think one of the example here, retext. Yeah, for example here, when you click this one, you cannot use MVVN. Yeah, because this button have to call the client side. So it's impossible for Safari. You have to call it like this. I still don't find another way. But after you call this, when handling the clipboard operation event, you can use MVVN command to listen the event of clipboard operation. But to calling the read text or write text, then these buttons have to use it like this. Yeah. So this is the current way, what I found. Maybe I will keep finding, maybe there's a better way. Okay, so where is my chat? Okay. So looks header parameter to get the browser. Yeah, it's also okay. Yeah, the header parameters is also a way you can determine by yourself to get the request header, the user agent. And also there's someone has a question about golden layout. Are there any plans to improve this? I would like to use this layout easily customize dashboard by a user. I can only define the layout initially, and you can add golden panels dynamically after that, or move them programmatically. Are there any plans? Currently, we don't have a specific plan, but if you have some special requirements, you can mail to us. We can think about it, maybe create some customization for you, and we can understand your use case, because sometimes we don't know, because there are lots of different use cases we cannot imagine. So if you can tell us your use case, maybe first stage we will create a customized version for you, or add some JavaScript patch. It depends on how complicated or how big change. Yeah, according to the description, maybe just a JavaScript patch. But if you want to add something dynamically from Java, then we also have to create some Java API and to fulfill your requirements. So so first stage, we will maybe make some customization for you. And later, if we understand that this is a common requirements, then we will create and put it into the feature of the component. Yeah, because usually we prefer to implement a common feature instead of a very specific feature for a very specific case. So welcome, you can describe your use case to us, mail to us, maybe with some screenshot, and we can understand your use case. Yeah, and then do some improvements. So yeah, thank you. So thank you everyone.